Really struggled shooting. They've struggled with their offense, so this is a good opportunity for them to get to a better rhythm against Team China.
Yang Hansen, great pass on the cut. One more to the corner, the open jumper coming, and it's a bucket good by Ju Jianwang. Crisp execution there by China on their opening sequence.
Young Hansen, number 51, is such a gifted passer. It's going to be fun to watch him tonight.
One of the two NBA prospects on this Chinese national team. 7 on the shot clock for Bouye. Off the step-up screen. Shot clock down to 3. Castle pulls and it comes off. They'll have another opportunity on the offensive rebound. That was Ingram, their second-round pick. Castle. That deep 3 way off the mark by Sidi Sissoko. Sissoko trying to find his shooting rhythm. Had a knee scoped about 6-7 weeks ago, so still trying to find his fitness level and his rhythm.
And he lost about 20 pounds throughout that process, too.
Wow. Yang Hansen on the block. He's got a size advantage against Mensah. Trying to walk him down. Had a great look at it, was looking for a whistle, didn't get it.
He's got a major size advantage. Want to see him power through in that situation.
Yeah. Yang Hansen, number 51, we've seen him now in this his third game. One of the players that's really on the NBA scouts' radar on this Chinese national team, number 51. It'll be sideline out of bounds, San Antonio basketball. Sidi Sissoko to trigger for the Spurs. Both these teams coming in 0-2. This one, the first game of the night, first of 2. The San Antonio Spurs taking on the Charlotte Hornets taking on the Sacramento Kings in the second half of our doubleheader. Here's Bouye. Castle has the side all to himself. Now the double team comes. Good ball movement. Ingram from deep laces the 3 ball.
Yeah, Ingram shot it well at the college level last year, and that was just a great decision by Sissoko to swing that ball around.
San Antonio up by a bucket. Sissoko with the rake and take for San Antonio. In the open court, took a big hit from Chen Shui-Pen to draw the foul. This might be on the attempt, and subsequent to that, 2 shots at the free throw line for Sidi Sissoko.
You feel it.
Keep in mind, folks, a unique set of rules here in the California Classic Summer League. Each team has 10 team fouls per quarter before the opposition shoots the penalty. And each player allowed 10 personal fouls before being disqualified. Sissoko goes 1 for 2. 6-3 San Antonio just underway. Deuce, we saw Team China fall behind in their last game by double digits early, but then clawed their way back in the second quarter.
They're going to play tough. They're going to play hard. There might be obviously some clear advantages for the Spurs in terms of speed, but they want to win. They're going to try hard every single time they're out there. I think the one thing hearing other teams talk about Team China is the challenge of going up against them is not knowing any of the players, right? You know, Keon Ellis of the Sacramento Kings was talking about how it's not like they got a whole bunch of film. He said, I'm going under on guys, and I'm like, am I supposed to go under on this screen?
The scouting report might not be quite as detailed as you usually get during the NBA's regular season. This is Castle with the handle here. He's looked very comfortable, Deuce, as a playmaker, right?
And that's going to be huge for the San Antonio Spurs. And another aspect will be him taking threes. Kenny Trevino has talked about if he's open, they want him taking threes. He didn't take a ton at UConn.
Castle in his Summer League debut had 12.6 rebounds and 3 dimes in 21 minutes of action and off the steal. Spurs with numbers, a 3-on-2, and they almost gave it right back. Here's Ingram. Castle drives the baseline. Yang Hansen with great verticality, but you see the physicality there by Castle. Deuce going right through the big man's chest.
Castle is 19 years old. That was a grown man move by him. Go right at the big
5, a whistle and a foul against Castle on the wing. So the sideline out of bounds. That is the second team foul. Make that first team foul against San Antonio. Team China with 3. Chinese national team on the come up right now in a little bit of a rebuild. Asia as a continent improving in terms of its overall basketball quality. Ingram on the move, takes the hit, and earns a trip to the free throw line. That foul will go against Zhu Jianlang.
That Team China in their time here at the California Classic, they've really struggled with the turnovers. Last game, 24 turnovers that turned into third
round of the San Antonio Spurs, 6-6 out of North Carolina. Started both games here in the California Classic. At 11 points in 28 minutes against Sacramento a couple of nights ago. He declared for the draft and withdrew after his freshman year. Played his second season at Stanford before transferring to North Carolina last season. Hansen cross court. With the contest, but a great effort there by Chan Shui-pen. He's been their leading scorer so far here in the California Classic. That was a tough shot.
Hey, he plays with intensity. He bumped at the official on that too. I love it.
Love to see the competitiveness. Underneath that bucket good by Nathan Mensah out of San Diego State. A whistle and a foul going to go against Mensah at the other end. A little too aggressive on that closeout on Du Run Wang. Sideline out of bounds. That's the second team foul against San Antonio. Deuce, I'm guessing neither of these teams wants to leave Sacramento winless, right?
Think about Team China's travel. I mean, they go from China to Australia. 2 days later, they're here playing games in Sacramento. The last thing you want to do is come home empty-handed. I know they go to Vegas after that.
Boy, tough and one, Deuce, by Chan Shui-pen, their leading scorer. You mentioned a moment ago the amount of emotion and physicality they're playing with. Here's a look at it.
Yeah, it was an impressive finish right there. Go strong.
Of which he's been a member for 3 years now. Shot a career best 41% from the three-point arc during the CBA season. And now, Deuce, they show a little full-court press.
They've really struggled at the California Classic, so mixing it up, show some different looks.
Why not?
See how this young Spurs team handles it.
Bouye got it back off his nice bounce pass. Sissoko, one more. Castle raising up and flying charter.
Yeah, Castle is just a complete player. He can play on ball, off ball in that situation. Going strong to the rack.
5-point San Antonio lead. 5.5 to go in the opening quarter. Yang Hansen, man, he's getting great looks inside. Couldn't convert, but drew the foul again. 7'2", 250 pounds, is getting some pretty good looks.
Yeah, I'd like to see him use his size a little more. Be physical. You know, you watch someone like Zach Edey last night, his summer league debut. You could feel him out there. And so I'd like to see a little more of that from Young Hansen.
He had a nice night for the Memphis Grizzlies. Got the game-tying bucket at the end of regulation. And we have a turnover, the result of that 2-2-1 full-court press by Team China.
Good lesson there for Stephon Castle. His teammates need to help him out a bit there, too. And he shuffled the feet.
Castle very comfortable, though, with the basketball in his hands. Hansen inside with the size advantage. Worked against Masalski and turned it over. Lifted that pivot foot. I was talking about Stephon Castle and him being comfortable as a playmaker ball handler. He's been working out with noted NBA trainer Olin Simplis in Los Angeles. And amongst his training partners this past summer, prior to the draft, was Keontae George of the Utah Jazz. Here's Castle out top. Guarded by Shui-pen. Nice speed inside for the bucket. Masalski with the bucket. There we see some of the playmaking ability of Castle.
Just a beautiful move. And it's wild to think he didn't have as many of those opportunities at UConn last year. That's such a stacked team, and you're seeing how valuable he could be in those situations.
It's crazy, Deuce, how the NBA game can look so different from the collegiate game at times in terms of revealing players' skill sets. Milner driving the baseline. Tough shot. He put the eye in ISO that time. Trying to force that. A deep logo three comes off by Du Run Wang. And Castle will bring it across quickly up to Sissoko. With a head of steam, hit the side of the backboard, and here comes Team China. Team China off to a much better start tonight than they were a couple of evenings ago.
Yeah, they've really struggled defensively through the first couple of games, too. So it's good to see them competing. Of course, the Spurs team doesn't have a ton of veterans on it at this point. So it's a good opportunity for Team China.
Sissoko will take a seat. Jameer Nelson Jr. will come into the ball game for the Spurs. And he and Castle in the backcourt. I was communicating with Olin Simplus, noted NBA trainer, a little bit earlier this evening. He has a feeling that Castle could be an all-star in a couple of years, and you know, a guy that can play the 1, 2, or even the 3. But a big body as a primary ball handler and a nice handle as well. There he is out top.
He was talking about his goals, and he was talking about being on the all-defensive team in a couple of years, too.
Gotta admire that. 3 from the corner is good by Tyson Ward. And San Antonio's lead up to 8 points. 12 on the shot clock for Team China. A little bit of contact, a whistle and a foul called as Chen Shui Pen will go to the free throw line for a couple of shots. He's been their leading scorer so far. He was the only player from Team China to score in double figures on Saturday. He had 16. One more look. A little bit of an adjustment for the Chinese national team, Deuce, in terms of physicality. You and I both watched a lot of FIBA basketball. It's much more physical than the NBA game, which stresses freedom of movement.
There's no doubt about it. It's one of the intriguing aspects when we watch FIBA and the Olympics. It's like, oh, wow, this is a different level. I thought it made the NBA so much fun toward the end of the season last year when they allowed a little more physicality in those games, too.
It's kind of cool seeing the officials follow the whistle a little bit, huh?
Let them play. I love it.
Here's that full court pressure again by Team China. Ward lost the handle, got peeled clean. Whistle, foul, counted. And won by Lau Sunning.
Well, they're playing with a
Chinese national team down by just 4. And we documented their journey a little bit earlier in the California Classic. They have put on some 13,000 miles traveling. A little leg weary, but a great effort so far. Castle into the paint. The lefty leg comes off. Masalski hustling, retrieving it. Castle inside, and one.
He played at Wake Forest with Tim Duncan, and now his son has a chance to play with potential Spurs great in Victor Wembanyama.
Wow, that's crazy, Sophie. And Castle talked about that thrilling moment when he had a chance to meet Tim Duncan down in San Antonio when he was meeting the Spurs front office and different personnel people. They have such a wonderful, deep lineage of greatness and Hall of Famers there.
And you think about the opportunity for him coming up, getting to learn from Chris Paul. I don't think there's a better point guard to learn from than CP3.
Great point. Chris Paul on a 1-year deal there in San Antonio. Great block underneath by Masalski. Gets it back, had it partially blocked, and look who's there. Castle got his back for the layup. And the tip. It's an 8-point lead for San Antonio. Castle with 9 points, a game-high 9 for the Spurs. Jameer Nelson Jr. fighting over that screen. Shot went halfway down by Lau Sunning. Castle got double-teamed. Chinese team showing respect. They get it to the open man. And Ward knocks down the 3-ball. Timeout, Team China. Time to talk with the lead swelling to 11. We're going to stay right here. Actually become a factor in the Western Conference.
And those two vets can play. That's the other thing. Of course, they have a big voice, but they're going to be able to contribute on the floor and help these guys.
Spurs in the midst of an 8-0 run right now. Contested 3 is nothing but net for Ho Chi Minh. Lead down to 8 as we approach a minute to go here in the opening quarter. Mensah with the ball off the elbow. Hands it off to Bouye. Bouye hasn't found his offensive rhythm yet. Ward almost turned it over and does. A little indecision costing him. It'll come back the other way with 1:02 to go. Nelson Jr. and Bouye now with a little token full court pressure. Great block, good help by Mensah. The follow good underneath by Zhao Bao Chao. The lead is down to 6. Bouye got downhill, couldn't get the lefty lay to go, and it'll come back to the Chinese national team with a chance to make this a 4-point contest. A 2-for-1 scenario. We'll see if they take it.